Hello fellow humans, my name is Poppy and I'm just another person trying to do what I can in fear of this planet's oncoming man-made demise. But how does that relate to clothes, you might ask, having seen the title of this video? Well, allow me to briefly throw a few numbers at you. The fashion industry is responsible for 10% of humanity's carbon emissions, which may sound minor until you realise this figure is more than all international flights and maritime shipping combined. Not only that, but the industry takes enough water to meet the needs of 5 million people away from them every year, while also contributing 20% of industrial wastewater pollution. But worst of all, this devastation is only caused for short-term enjoyment, because the equivalent of one rubbish lorry full of clothes is burned or dumped in a landfill every second. So basically, the trend-dependent fast fashion industry is one of the most detrimental when it comes to the health of our planet, and consequently, every person and living being that resides here. Alright, so what's the solution? Well, if you exist on the internet, you're probably at least moderately aware of all the discourse surrounding fast versus slow fashion that has been happening in recent years. But if you aren't, I'll give you a quick rundown. It's pretty accepted that the greenest and most ethical way to shop for clothes is to avoid fast fashion brands that churn out clothing in excess and exploit their workers in doing so. But the problem is, many of the more eco and employee-friendly retailers are also more expensive. However, there is still one more method of shopping for clothes that is not only cheaper, but in fact even greener, and that is, of course, second-hand shopping, or as they call it in the States, thrifting. Over my years in England, I've amassed a nice little collection of second-hand pieces that you'd never think were previously owned and even worn by someone else. But as my time as a student and then unemployed graduate, they were a great, affordable way for me to keep my wardrobe, joy-sparky. So, in the spirit of Secondhand September, I thought I'd take you on a tour of this collection and show you just how exciting and unique pre-loved items of clothing and even accessories can be, no matter where you find them. I've made some vague categories to help keep this video moderately structured, so without further ado, here are some nice things on my body featuring occasional existential dread. First up, we have the jackets and coats. I wanted to start with this category because I've never been able to recover from the moment I found this faux leather jacket in a local charity shop for just £2. Look at all those stars on the lining. It's flawless and versatile and has served me incredibly well over the years. £2 though. And now for another mind-boggling find. This adorable cropped half-and-half jacket perfectly encapsulates the two ends of my style spectrum, and it only cost me £4 at the British Heart Foundation. With the dark emo goth mess thing on my right and the autumnal retro cozy vibes on my left, it's very convenient having an outer layer that suits basically everything I own. And for the times when my outfits are neither black nor brown, here's one more outer layer provided by the BHF. I could tell it had never been worn, but it only cost me £10 and has these dainty lilac stripes that make it the perfect pairing for all my pastel-y, purpley things. Well, that's it for outer layers. Them boys get a lot of use in England. But in an effort to hold on to a season we barely had this year, let's try something a little more summery next. Behold the skirts. Okay, wow, do I even need to say much about this one? As you can see, this design kicks ass. Like noughties schoolgirl punk academia pleated madness ass? Yes, I know how to sentence. But 5 real, it's just such a statement piece, and good quality too. I bought it off someone on Depop for just £12 and suspect they had never once worn it, so I consider that a massive bargain. And for just £2 more than that, I found this brand new denim skater skirt on Depop as well. The seller hadn't even removed the labels yet, and the waistband reminded me of traditional Romanian brour, or woven belts, so I couldn't resist. Needless to say, it's become a great addition to my folkier outfits. As you can see here, I've paired it with a Romanian ie, or blouse. And now for a section dedicated to all the things that cover my torso and a little thigh. She really said sequins are forever, and they only cost £8 at the British Heart Foundation. I mean, get it I guess. Oh, and I've fallen. Let's try that again. This honestly makes me feel like I'm having some kind of red carpet moment whenever I wear it. Not like a knockout OMG who is she moment, but like, hey, that's a pretty sweet fit you got there, dude. Thanks man, I got it when I was unemployed because life is pain and sparkles make it better. And next up we have this oversized shirt, which as a garment wouldn't technically be classed as second-hand, but the fabric itself is all upcycled, because every panel is made of an old kitchen towel. It was going for £15 in Renegade Vintage on the Isle of Man, and as soon as I saw where some of the scraps were from, I had to get it. This one highlights Micklegate Bar, which is a spot in York, where I went to uni, and this part is from Wales, where I used to live as well. While we're already reminiscing on the past, let's turn our attention to this retro-esque denim playsuit that also cost me £15. I got it pre-loved off Depop, but there were no major signs of wear anyway, and it ended up fitting my measurements really well. Definitely worth it. And now, in a similar retro vein, check out this mini dress I found on Depop as well. Yes, costing £65 makes it the priciest item we've tackled so far, however it is a genuine vintage piece in impeccable condition. If you want to go down the historical preservation route, you're naturally going to spend a bit more. I've also seen much less cute items in much worse condition go for much more on the very same platform. No tea, no shade though. As we move on to the things that adorn my feet, I mean shoes of course, I don't know what else, well, socks I guess, but no, not socks. I want to start with my One Step Beyond checkerboard platform heels by Current Mood, which originally retailed for about £80, but I managed to nab for just £43, unworn off Depop. And now, going down in price for once because the transition worked better this way, these are my 70s inspired platform boots which only cost me £15 on Depop. From toes we move to shoulders because it's time to show off my tops. What's that? £0? Well, that's because I swapped a bundle of clothes with one of my friends, and her bundle included this Harry Styles inspired t-shirt. What can I say? I see his lyrics, I buy. Or in this case, I gift something else in return. At £2.50, this long-sleeve turtleneck hardly broke my bank either, and for the amount of wear it's had, it's more than made up for it. Don't mind my shimmies, by the way. Montero, the album, had just come out and I couldn't stop playing it wherever I went. Speaking of mad Depop deals, I got this orange halter-necky vest via the app as well. But no, it didn't cost $6.50 for the one piece, I actually got the same dude in black and in white as well. So now I have a nice little trio of retro-esque skaterish summer tops. Where that top was only retro-esque, here's another genuine vintage piece. I bought it from the basement of an antique shop in York for just £7, and I am so glad I found it. This pussy bow gives me such life, and the silky fabric makes me feel comfy and classy at the same time. Aha, we're finally reaching the £10 threshold. Here we have a surprisingly thick and warm crop turtleneck by Minger, once again bought on Depop. It goes with so many of my more autumnal outfits, and people often point out how lovely and rich the colours are. To which my response is always, and guess what? It's second-hand. For just £1 more, Depop also led me to this super sick teal, purple, black, white, and orange mismatched stripy cropped polo thing. Despite how wild it is, it goes with so many of the other items in my wardrobe, and for that I am eternally grateful. Oof, if you know me, you know I love the brand The Hippie Shake. I'm actually wearing them in this video right now. Well, imagine my elation when I found one of their Sweetbird floral tie tops, which is my favourite print, on Vinted for £11. It normally, and in fact still, retails for £45, so maybe that helps paint the picture a little more. And here we have a nice little Chinese laundry sweat that I bought off a friend for £15. It goes with basically everything, and it's pretty cute. And for £16, here's this super smooth mismatchy paisley crop top zippy mock neck thing. As with most, I found it on Depop. Oh, sorry, I haven't shared enough Depop stuff? Say less. Here's a 70s inspired halter neck I got for £25. It's not genuine vintage, but it was also never worn. I am slightly concerned it might have been drop shipped without me knowing, but I guess the price was decent. Shall we move on to the longest things? Sweet. Let's start with a price that's definitely okay, the price of £0, because I got this dress off my mum, to whom it previously belonged. It's an adorable nod to the 50s and is meant to be worn with a belt, but I accidentally left that component upstairs and only realised when I'd finished filming. Alas. Oh, bow. Boy, oh boy. Behold this dress. Note that it's a genuine handmade vintage piece, a piece I just so happened to pull off the rack in a Sue Ryder shop one day. I thought, why not try it on? For a laugh. I never anticipated it fitting every measurement of mine perfectly. nor did I anticipate it costing only £30. I wish I were joking, but reflecting on how once upon a time someone out there was shaped just like me and had this made just for them, made me feel this really intense connection to them through time and space. It was so overwhelming I almost cried. I mean, that was also partially down to how dang pretty this dress looked, but let's focus on the meaningful bit. Anyway, this dress didn't quite make me cry, but it is also a genuine vintage piece that cost me £30, this time in York's Chinese laundry shop. Look at how groovy she is with her backlessness and halter neck. Far out, dude. And now for another friend purchase. My most complimented item of clothing by far, this Lucy and Yak boiler suit I bought for £48. All I can say is it brings me so much joy. Which is why I've got it in a stripy pattern too. I actually found this on Depop for £55 before the other one, but oh well, nothing is real, life is a lie. And here we have the most expensive item in this video. For £68, which is not exactly pocket money, I spoiled myself a little and treated myself to this crazy, green, as of yet undefined past era revival gown. I look forward to doing more research and trying to date it accurately, if that's even possible, but for now, it's just the dress I used to represent the past in that video I made about language and time. Shameless plug, yes yes. Accessory time, woo! Do you like handbags? Well, you'll like this solid tortoiseshell one I got for less than £5 in the British Heart Foundation. What about sunglasses? Giant orange squares that go for £8 on Vinted? No? Well, you're definitely gonna like these Purple Rain, not the Prince kind, boys that I found on Depop for £13. Look at them jiggle! How can you not be happy while wearing these? But if you prefer to stick to the essentials, here are my favourite second-hand trousers. Starting with the cheapest, as per, except for that little shoe section, I know. Here's a pair of green, navy, red, white, tartan-looking skinny jeans that I got for just £7 off Depop. They fit me surprisingly well, and have become a bit of a cold weather staple of mine. Don't they just look festive? If those were the Christmas decorations, these trousers would be the tree. I'd say they're my second most complimented item of clothing, and I'm so glad I found them when I did. As you might have guessed, they were on Depop, and this time listed for just £11, but they're also a genuine vintage pair by a German brand, so I treasure them dearly. Not to mention, they're just the right amount of baggy and more comfortable than any other jeans I own. And last, about time, but certainly not least, my final pair of trousers, my final item in this video, and my final Depop find. Let's take a moment to appreciate these real vintage orange and white trousers that I got for £25 in near mint condition. Unlike the other two pairs, these ones really bring the summer vibes, and also make me feel a little like a barbershop quartet singer from yesteryear. Anyway, that's about it for my sustainable style extravaganza thing. I hope it's inspired you to uncover your own fashionable finds, and maybe click a certain like, subscribe, or comment button as well. Because in my experience, there's something really thrilling and rewarding about coming across a one-off item that almost feels like it was made just for you. But even if you just end up buying things from the high street stores via someone who doesn't want them anymore, that still helps because it's not contributing to that big machine that's causing all this damage. It's something, you know? At the end of the day though, please don't feel bad if you don't have the time or means to go out and search every individual piece until you find something that works for you. I understand it's not feasible for everyone. We all just have to find our own ways to limit our impact on the planet and hopefully, potentially, even alleviate what we've already done as well. I think we can do it. I hope we can do it. I know we can do it. And on that quasi-hopeful note, goodbye.